1:03. Another 1 o'clock in the morning job, but all good. Oh, nearly dropped that. We've got a fuel tank in, and we've got wires, just no relays or anything like that yet, but just wires that we can deal with. And the intake is on. It looks a little bit scary with the bonnet and stuff like that, but this clears, so I'm confident that is going to clear. But if it doesn't, we need to find out soon. If it doesn't clear, we need to find a quick remedy, which will be somehow dropping that down. But let's see. Right. Anyway, this is the beginning of Wednesday's video, and I'll do an introduction in the morning. But good night and good morning. It's this walk again, home to shed. What a morning. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we drive, but it's all good. Sort of clip from last night. We've got a tank in there, and things are all right, aren't they? So what I'm going to do this morning is I've just started and then realised I need to talk to you guys. Ow! Just walking into things. And these are old 15-inch rims, which are going to replace these rims, so I can take these arm-on-R tyres off the car and get them on our lovely rotty form, however you say it. So that's job one, because we don't do that too soon. The sun is up and it's too damn hot. Frying seconds out here on clear days like this. So I had a look at the board this morning, and I was just about to start rubbing things out. There's a load of stuff to come off here. Well, I've just checked, we've still got brakes. Doesn't seem to be any puddle of oil under the car. Do I still have a pedal? I've still got a pedal, and I've still got a clutch. So that's good enough for me. So brakes coming off of there. This is the list we were going for last night. So brakes, suspension. Although what I need to do, they said they were going to check the track control arm, and we're going to jack it to car level. GCA bolts, because with those, if you tighten them up with the suspension down and then lower the car on them, you can rip the bushes or preload the bushes, and that's not a good thing to do. Clutch, we got that done. Intake is on there. Bumpers, bonnet, we didn't get done. Fuel tank and fuel line. Well, basically we've got fuel up to this point here. Sorry, up to this point here. So that's the feed. Put a cable tie on it. That's the feed. So we're going to put pressure regulator on here, and then we're going to run a line into the fuel rail here. So that's pretty easy. I was sort of thinking the sequence of things to do today. You know, thinking like, well, I could just like put the fuel on now, start it up, and if it doesn't start, well, that's game over. But it isn't game over, and it would probably be like a negative thing to do. I've got Alex is taking another day off work, so he's going to help tomorrow. So we've got Alex here Thursday and Friday now, so problems like this he can help work through. So it's down to what's the best way to spend my time. So a little bit worried about the throttle body clearance here. I mean, that clears, and in theory that should clear, but I was just sort of thinking if it doesn't, I've just attached a cable, and the cable can run through here, and we make some sort of some sort of bracket for it. Need to look at maybe turning that the other way around, the throttle position sensor, just so it'll be tidy for the wire. The wire's here, and it'll sort of be tidier if it's stuck out the back. I think that's possible because you can calibrate these in the program on the ECU. So I was thinking, just if that doesn't clear, then what I could do is I could run down the road to Mr. Dang and I could get him to angle, turn that into a slice, angle that spacer, and that then would kick the throttle body down. I mean, it may even be worth doing anyway. It may be worth doing anyway. Let's just have a look at that. So it's like that now, and you've probably got to do, because you've got to do the whole face of it, you've got to get enough surface area to get that on there. So it'd be a slice through there like that. That may well be worth doing, just to make it a little less silly looking. So that sort of kick down just about there, that'd be perfect. I could get him to make me one up in metal as a spare, maybe, instead of ruining that and being scuppered. Alright, anyway, so these are the things that are going through my head. They're all done. Got this thing here. This is an exhaust. I've got it rewritten there. Just did that. Now, I went to an exhaust shop yesterday and it was like talking to the most unmotivated people in my life. You know, they're saying, yeah, well, you've got to bring the car here and we've got to have a look at it and then we'll quote you. I said, mate, I don't care how much it's going to cost. I said, just need it done. I said, got to drive to Buriram 400 kilometers on Friday. Oh, no, can't do that. No, that's not enough time. If you bring it now, you could get it done for Friday. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I don't have a prop shaft yet, I can't bring it now. I don't have a tank yet, can't bring it now. So he said, oh, I could get it tomorrow afternoon. You get it here for Wednesday evening. You might get it back for Friday. And I'm like, So what I'm thinking, as I always do, is to make my own exhaust. I've got a load of pipe outside, and I think I've got like a cheap way of coupling the pipe up by using like slip tube. You know, you get if it's a 3-inch tube, then you cut the 3-inch tube, you turn it into a C, so to speak, and then you can slip it over there and then weld it on. So you've got a little bit of adjustability there, and then you can tack it and then yeah, move it. And then for the bends, just do pie cuts. So do a slit for the, I don't know where the intake is. You get the intake onto this flange here, and then put a band around it, and maybe get a clamping flange made that just pulls up on that ring. That's not going to be too difficult. And then just run pretty much a straight pipe all the way to the back axle, a couple of curves, and then hang the Sierra tailpipe I've got. And that's like the most rudimentary way of doing it. Just one tailpipe, pretty much open pipe all the way. And then if there's time, buy a centre box and cut it in there. But if there's not time, just go as it is. Just turn the engine off when we go through stock checks and stuff like that. So that is my current way of thinking. So what I'm going to do now, I don't even, they're not even on here, the wheels and tyres. Well, here they are. So wheels and tyres. Oh, wrong pen. Wheels and tyres. I'm doing them now. Oxygen sensor, that's just basically robbing the one off the Escort because the cable on that one is longer than the cable on here. This doesn't reach the loom on the ECU. So that's easy. All these things here, brake lines are all done. Sensor adapters did all them, intake's done. Anti-roll bar, did that yesterday. Paint sills hinge, all that sort of stuff is done. I've got a mountain coil, not difficult. They're all sort of things I can push back till Thursday, Friday. You know, I mean, it doesn't stop us starting the car. It could be like ABC, level of importance, and to put that as a C, because quite honestly, you could just like put a piece of cloth under it, cable tie it to the, just cable tie it in place. Yesterday I made more sill clips while the lads were doing bits and pieces. I made those, and I've got to just make some more of those. I've got the metal cut, so that's not going to take long. And again, push that out to when they're perhaps here. So sill clips, exhaust, I've got that written again. Fit intake, we did that. Brake vacuum hose, I bought that yesterday. Strap for petrol tank, couldn't find it last night. So it's only held in there by a couple of bolts at the moment. So, okay, I've got the wheels and tyres. I can go any time today and do that. And I've got the spacers, the hub-centric spacers are down at Mr. Red's machine shop. So if I leave it till this afternoon, I can run down with the truck, get the tyres changed over, and on the way back pick up the spacers. Wheels and tyres, spacers, petrol tank, exhaust. Alright. Right, well, I'm not going to bore you anymore. I'm just going to get on with it. It's getting hotter out there. So I'll give you an update later. Cheers. Right, so I've just cut these two bits of pipe. Sorry, I've cut this one bit of pipe and made it into two. I'm going to make two flanges, two down pipes. One to start with, and if I mess it up, I'll have the other one that I can cut to a different length if I need to. Just put that there. Well, I pull out. It is I've wrapped up, because the trouble is, you send stuff down to a machine shop, and they're not always that careful with stuff. And this has got a ceramic coating on it. And I prefer it not. I prefer it to come back with a ceramic coating on. So the idea is, he puts it in a lathe and stretches it, and this has got some sort of dolly, round dolly. I've seen them in exhaust shops. And if he can't do it, then maybe I run to an exhaust shop and just get them to stretch that onto there, so I can do a slide fit, and then I can get it clamped up in there as well. So I'll come back, I think, I might do the template now, but I think I'll come back and do the template because that's going off in a different direction, and it's the place to cut that flange is near the nut and bolt shop, and I need to go there as well because I need the hose clamps and all sorts of stuff as well. Some tyres are off. They were tyres, they're a couple of years old, but they were new on the car this year. They were wet tyres, and the bloke for racing, and the bloke decided to go from 17 to 18. So I did a deal with him on some brakes and got those, put them on the old E30. These look a bit sad compared to them TSWs, so I can get these down to the shop and get them chopped over onto the Rotiforms and balanced as well. Right, loaded up to go. Need to balance that one as well. Got my tubes, got my wheels, got my tyres, got my adapter. Okay, let's do it. So they make I took my cardboard template, and this is the paper template that I've made, and then stick it down and use the optic to trace it, put it against a white background, trace a black line, and that's the blank on there. So I think once the machine's warmed up, he'll jump into life with it. Just set in the centre, I guess. Make sure it cuts out of that flank. Of course, everybody's using water jet cutters these days, and laser cutters and stuff. It's proper old school. And while I'm here, I'll get him to punch the holes in it as well. Perfect. It's so very often the case that you're going to wait for these things. I don't know, 45 minutes. He said it'd be ready for such and such a time. Turned up such and such a time, it hadn't even started. But it doesn't matter, it's all good, it's done. So I'm going to get the wheels now. At a tyre shop now. So I dropped these off at 10 or 11 o'clock this morning. It's now what, 2, 3? He hasn't finished, but he'll finish now. Like I say, you gotta wait for these things sometimes. Right, I'm about to embark on something I've never done before. So really winging it here. I've got that stainless pipe going all along there, all sort of kind of closely lining up to the downpipe, which we've just done. And this is the old exhaust, which actually runs down that side, even though the what's the exhaust? Yeah, the intake. The exhaust was on the left hand side. The exhaust on this one is on the right hand side. For some reason it crossed over and went in there and came back again. It's good news. So basically that's got to run across there, and then it comes through between the diff and the trailing arm. And then comes out up here, and the silencer hangs there. So the first thing I need to do is make this bend. This is a straight pipe, so that's sort of the same as what I got over there. This is a straight pipe, so if I do this first bend, I kind of got quite a bit of it done already. No, I can't think of it like that. That's an important piece. And this is sort of almost on the same plane until it gets down to there, and it kicks up. But I don't know whether I have to kick up because I've got a deeper silencer, so the centre line of it will be lower down. But we'll have to get the bumper on and get that positioned and then see how it meets up. But I think I can I'll start there and then a straight pipe. So it'll be a join here, and a straight pipe out, a join here and a straight pipe to here, another bend, and maybe, if I'm lucky, straight pipe out there. We don't know about that yet. So I'm going to do 2 bends first. I'm going to start with this one. And like I've got no idea how to do it, or I've seen people do it. It's pie cuts. So I need to take a triangle out of there. The more triangles I take, the more curved the radius is. So what I might try and do is, I guess you go to center line. See that high? Not even that high now. We've just got to start with one. Start with one and try pulling it. Cut it. Maybe do 1, 2, 3 cuts. And give it a tweak and see what it looks like. It's going to be straight and straight and straight, but it doesn't matter. And I guess the width of the cut, or the number of cuts, determines the total length of the radius. So maybe start there. I think what I'll do is try and get a template of it, put some card down, draw the radius on there, and then try and work something out. I've just taken a cut out of that. I've left 10mm there, no 20mm there. That's a 20mm slice. So I'm going to pull that out of there and see when I bend it around what it does. Might have gone too far, we'll see. I don't know how about angles and slices and whatnot. Right, that's what we got. I don't know if it shows up. I don't know what it is, about 15 degrees maybe. And I should just lay it down alongside here. I mean, obviously it isn't enough. What do I want? 2 more? Two more might do it. I'll go and try 2 more. One on the outside, one on the inside. And then the idea was maybe just to, when it's done, just grab hold of these slices. A bit hot that. Grab hold of these slices and then slip them over the gaps and weld them back in place. Use these as the filler to fill the gaps up. But I am making it up as I go along. And that bit actually fits on there quite nicely. Almost covers the cut, and just fill in the rest of it. That's now with 2 cuts, so the 3rd cut should do it. Alright, that's not far off now. I reckon just where it's touching in here, just in those cuts there, just widen them a little bit more. Bit of a gap there, no gap there. Just widen those out, and it should pull around a little more. I'm just going to get a piece of welding wire and make a radius template, and then I can go out, because I'm not grinding in this room with this car here, so I haven't got enough room for everything. I'm tight for space, but yeah, I'll do that. I'll make a radius gauge. I'll fine tune it outside with the grinder, and then once that's done, I'll move on to this one. And I've got a feeling, really, to be honest, these little kinks don't seem to be too difficult to do. You know, where you go sort of left and right and up and down, this, that and the other. Just where you put the cut, and you can sort of twist them and get sort of spiraling stuff. Anyway, right, welding wire. The key to this all working is whether or not I can weld with this. I bought it a couple of years ago with the intention of sitting there and becoming a pro TIG welder, and I got no seat time at all, and I did it on mild steel. What I did it on mild steel. I tried stainless and it was hard, literally. So let's see what happens today. I've got some stainless TIG 1.6 wire. You're supposed to backfill the tube with gas, and I'm not even going to do that. I just want to stick it. Yeah, don't take any tech tips from me on this one. I'm absolutely blown away. I just struck an arc and did the first fuse weld of my life. I've never been able to fuse them before, and that just fused. Let's see if we hopefully can keep this up. And yeah, the fusion welding was a fluke. I've got another one in there, and I'm just blowing that apart because there's a gap. So whenever there's a gap, you can't fusion weld. Just so happened that those were touching together. So I've clamped that now. So that's pulled up. Probably should check it with the radius gauge, but I won't bother because I can't find it. Where's that gone? Don't know. Never mind. So now, yeah, with the filler rod, I'm going to attempt to weld that up. Maybe I just spot it for now. We'll see, because we've still got the concept of sticking these things around it. We'll see. I'm just winging it. So TIG welding isn't happening, and the old MIG welder, I just changed the torch on it, and it's still the same. So it's not the torch, it's actually the welder is buggered. So I've gone back even further in time, and I've got out this MIG welder, which is the decommissioned one. So I've put the lead on it, and the tank, and the wire, and everything, and this is what we got. So no TIG welding, we're MIG welding it, and we're MIG welding it with steel wire. This just means it'll go rusty and might crack, but shouldn't crack if there's no load on it. So that'll do until it won't do, if you know what I mean. Phew. Getting out of breath easily. Right, I'm just looking at the angle of that. That's okay. So I need to prop that up and measure the next angle and do a pie cut in that. See if we can follow that around. That would be fun. Let's get into it. Right, it's that time of night where I've got to close today's videos. I think you've seen all the exhaust stuff. I've been messing around getting the fuel regulator on, and the prop shaft is on. So there's a bit more work than it had to be. The hole centers weren't quite right, and now we also have a bumper on. So looking rather sweet with that on. There we go. Looks like an American police car, doesn't it? Hate to say that. Okay, so that's really it for now. I'm going to pack these videos up and send them off to the lad, and hopefully we can get them up in about an hour or so. So 2 more full days of work, I guess. Well, we're supposed to be leaving on Friday, but full day tomorrow, and a day on full day tomorrow, Thursday, sorry, right, and Friday as well. But hopefully I can get the exhaust somewhere tomorrow, and we'll get it started up. Cheers for now, bye.